gentlemen, welcome back to the show. One of my favorite guests, one of the best, one of my favorite, I would consider friends of the show, up and coming, soon to be, I'm saying soon to be world title holder, Joshua Greer Jr. out of Chicago. What's good, man?
Most definitely, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, brother.
I always appreciate your time. Try not to bother you too much, but you are one of the guys that I can really count on, and you just
Yeah.
help me get the word out about you, one, and then also just get some different voices on the show. So I always appreciate it.
Oh, no problem, bro.
Happy New Year, man.
Oh, man. Thank you. Same to you, my man.
Appreciate it. How'd the holiday season go for you?
Oh, but I'm always working, man. You know what I mean? I got goals, and you know what I mean. I'm trying to accomplish. So I don't leave too much time to play around. So I enjoy a few weeks with the family, and I'm right back in training.
How was this? How was this holiday season different for you personally?
Man, it's just as far as mentally, spiritually, everything. It was just so much better because it's like I have a direction. I know where I'm going. I know where I'm heading to, and all I got to do is just at one point in my life, all I got to do is worry about boxing. Everything else is handling itself. You know what I mean? I leave everything in God's hands and my team, Jay Printz, Antonio Leonard, Top Rank, and my coach, and they've been doing their thing, man, and I've been doing mine.
Now, I believe it was 2017. Just following you on check on Facebook and whatnot. I think you made a post or posted about being really bummed out or frustrated that the Potapov, the Nikolai Potapov fight wasn't able to be made. Was that 2017?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. It was just I was just, it was just, not having the right management. People not, know what they're doing, and it's like I'm winning these certain fights, and it's still no direction, or it's like I gotta be an opponent every time. It's like, okay, when it's gonna pay off? I mean, like I'm doing everything I need to do while I'm not, seeing anything happen or getting any direction. So, everything happened for a reason, man. I kept faith, and God made everything better, and I'm with the right people, and we're making things happen.
Speaking of Jay Prince, I saw him on TV the other night, Friday night. I was one of the podcasters or media members that was really enjoying the climb back into the thick of things by Brian Jennings. And
Mm-hmm.
my man, I was getting ready to reach out to him and everything, and he hit a major setback the other night. Have you been able to talk to the team, or is there anything that you can share with us about, what direction or what encouragement might come from Jay Prince in that situation?
One thing I haven't talked specifically about Brian Jennings. It's like I'm focused on my fight. Brian Jennings, I mean, I don't know him too well personally, or whatever, but he seemed like a great guy. I'm sad that happened to him, and hey, everything happened for a reason. We don't know why some things happen, but I look forward for him to make a good comeback.
All right. When I picked up on you, man, like I told you before, it was back in March of 2017. I was up at the MGM. I don't know if that's the Grand in Detroit or whatnot, but that was, I believe, your first ShoBox appearance. You fought a
Yeah.
kid. You fought a kid named James Smith, and I'm just bringing
Mhm.
this up because I'm getting ready to go check him out again up in Detroit next month. And
Oh,
you guys put in a really great fight. It was a lot of back and forth action in that one until the big moment, the ESPN moment. I believe that was in the sixth the sixth round when you had the
mhm.
ESPN Sports Center knockout. And I'm just wondering, man, what looking where you are now, I think he has had his second loss since then. But like I said, it was a
Mhm.
pretty competitive fight up until that point. You were getting the better of
Mhm.
it. But what do you think now? What's impressing you? What's the major difference in your game? Here we are, almost 2 years later.
Then I was more of a fighter. You know what I mean? Like now, I'm an overall great boxer. My jab is the difference. My defense is the difference. I don't even get hit a lot now. So my defense is the difference. My jab, setting up the big shots, and I work hard. It's just a lot more attributes. I just, I feel like I got a lot more skill. I got a great coach. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm just a way overall all around fighter since the date that me and him had that fight.
That's exactly that's exactly how I looked at it. So
Yeah.
speaking of defense, and like you said, like I said, it was good exchanges in that fight. Both of you guys were landing
Yeah.
quite a few shots. I'm not so sure that would be the same today based on what you just mentioned about your defense. I'm just wondering,
Hmm.
for fans and folks that are looking and picking up on the improvement of fighters, with you and your defense, on this last fight with Lozano, it really stood out to me quite a bit, and the commentators mentioned it. But with your defense or your defensive stance, is that something that Pullman has kind of like given you or created for you, or is this a stance
Well,
that you've kind of come into and it's just he works on improving it and on how to make it really work best for you?
no, now as far as the defense, I got to give it all to Pullman on that one. I mean, he's more, he like more defense than offense, and he don't like, me getting hit at all. So that's something that we work on constantly. That's something that he drilled in me to get, and it's in my head now. And I even, I like it instead of being so, I can sit right in front of the guy and make him miss, and that'll burn a guy out even more. So I got to give it all to Pullman on that one. That's something he definitely embedded in me.
And I'm just asking this because we'll see one trainer or one coach with multiple fighters, and everybody will have a different defensive stance or different hand positioning. I'm checking out what you're doing. Is it that specific that he suggested, to put your hands in these places or hold your hands in these places? Or is that something that's kind of was a comfort for you? And like I said, maybe he's working on improving it or showing you how to make that work for you.
Well, it's in basketball, I'm sure nobody showed LeBron how to do these 360s. They just show him the basics of how to duck, and he put his own twist and his own style to it. So that's like what Pullman, he showed me the base of the defense, and we worked on it day in, day out. Me getting the base, and then once I got it down packed, then I can add my own little flavor, or when I'm comfortable, do what I feel like I need to do and do whatever I want to do. So yeah, you gotta have the basics down packed first, then you can add on the little spikes and everything.
Has the sharpening up the defense, has that helped improve your offense?
Oh, most definitely. It set up shots. It improved your offense a lot. Which I'm going to put on display also February 15th. So it's definitely going to show.
All right. Speaking of the Lozano fight, you picked up the WBC Continental Americas Bantamweight title, and that was down in Corpus Christi, 7th round TKO. What does that title mean for you? What did that title mean to you? Picking that up.
It was my first title since I've been pro, so it's definitely started things, and it give me it's going to give me a step closer to the bigger goal, which is the world title. So it means a lot to me. Every fight means a lot to me. Whether it's a title or not, every fight is a world championship fight to me, because if I don't do what I need to do, then you know what I mean, I won't make it there. So every fight is a world championship fight to me, and it means a lot to me.
Any disappointment in not getting the flat out knockout versus Lozano's team calling it quits? And when you did realize that it was over, what you think? What emotions did you go through?
I feel like at this point in my career, people saw me get the one-punch knockout, and I think that's like a danger to guys in their teams, that they don't want the fight to get to that, because they know eventually if I keep putting a beat on them, keep softening up the chin, that's going to come. So, quite a few times, guys have been pointing stuff like that. So I'm catching a drift. That's what they're doing to protect the fighter, and that's a smart move on them, because at the end of the day, if I keep going, I'm going to get better and better and stronger as the round goes, it's going to end to that. And as far as the emotions, man, me putting in the work, making the sacrifices, being away from my kids and dedicating myself to this craft, and my coach dedicating himself to me. When I get that victory, it's just all type of emotions running through. I'm feeling good, because, I made myself proud. I did what I said I was going to come to do. I made my coach proud, you know, that he, you know, putting in work and it's not going in vain or anything. And I made my team proud, you know, top ranking, Jay Prince and Antonio Leonard. It's just, you know, so it's a lot of emotions just going through that. I'm just, you know, making different people proud and definitely, you know, becoming a great example to the, you know, the youth and, you know what I mean, especially the youth back home in Chicago and, you know what I mean, people that don't have they feel like they don't have a future. You could, you know, make something out of nothing, you know what I mean, you with positivity. So there's a lot of emotions going through my head at that time, you know, but it's all, it feels good, it feels great.
Do you think, you know, and just checking yourself out, you know, you're on the you know, the lineup when they do the press conferences and whatnot, and you're moving closer and closer to the two fighters standing in the middle. You get more time at the podium. You move on to the main event. Hopefully, I think you're going into the co-feature here on the 15th. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Did you think your charisma and personality is something that might, you know, move you along in that regard, along with the excitement that you're creating inside the ring?
Yeah, that possibly could be it too. You know, I give people a lot to work with, but that's just me. You know, I'm not being somebody that I don't want to be or being somebody else. That's just my personality before boxing. You know, if I'm just at home by myself or going on a run by myself, you know what I mean? I'm getting in my zone. I talk stuff. I dance. That's just me. You know what I mean? So for my team and Top Rank to appreciate that and if that, you know, help me go further, then that's cool. But at the end of the day, you know, winning is mostly important, and that's the main thing I'm focused on is winning.
Right, like I just mentioned, February the 15th at the Grand Casino, Hinckley, Minnesota. Back closer to you know, your region of the country. It's on ESPN. Any relief in not trying to get your friends to mess around with that ESPN Plus app? Did you get any?
Oh man!
Did you hear any hard?
Yeah.
Did you get any heartburn from folks telling you they couldn't mess with it?
You know, they some people go, oh, I can't get it, but you know, it is what it is, man. I'm glad that I'm on ESPN. They can just click the channel. It's easy. Nobody has to ask me how to download the app and all these questions. So it's a blessing, man.
Okay. Like I said, moving up to that co-feature status. I think Rob Brand is the WBA middleweight champ that'll be in the main event. What's this signify for your growth and your progress over the last year and a half, moving up to that co-feature, and then, like I said, being on ESPN?
Oh man, it just showed that I feel like the world hasn't seen even half of what I'm gonna become. You know what I mean? Like this is just the beginning, but it's just showing that I'm growing as a fighter, as a person, and I'm just with the right team. It's very important in boxing that you have the right people behind you because if you don't, boxing is a very political sport. If you don't have the right people behind you, then nobody ever knows you. You won't get to where you need to be. So it's most important that you got the right people behind. I got the right people behind me and some people with some power and some pull.
All right. Your opponent that night, Giovanni Escaner. What do you know about this cat? And, you know, what are you expecting him to try to accomplish on a fight night?
He's a very, what I do know that he's a very aggressive guy. You know, he's not, I mean, very like technical or, you know, even, you know, throw punches right. But he's a very aggressive guy. And what I'm basically, you know, I expect him to come and bring that aggressiveness and just fall into the hands of everything. And every mistake he makes, he must pay. I'm going to make him pay for it.
I don't want to get ahead of, you know, what you got going on. You're at Bantamweight. You fought one division up, and I think that was against in the DAZN fight that you went on and got out of the way. I know some bigger names and maybe even some bigger business to a certain extent are up in you know, the higher weight classes, the higher you go and getting towards that sweet spot. Maybe, you know, years down the road, man, what do you think could be your ceiling as far as you know, moving up?
I mean, God willing, God for my life, it could be 140, maybe 140. Because you got to think, Pacquiao only like 5'5", and you know what I mean. Man, I went all the way up to 154. So God willing, you know, I keep my health and everything. Possibly 140, 147 or something.
Okay, I just wondered if that was something you were, just in
Oh,
the.
most definitely. I'm in this game for legacy, man. You know what I mean? I'm definitely in this game for legacy, and I'm going to become a future Hall of Famer. So I'm going to push myself and test myself and do what I have to do.
You mentioned it earlier about, giving kids in the community hope, inner city Chicago and whatnot, impoverished areas and whatnot. And you also mentioned Pacquiao. So I just wanted to get your take. You're the first boxer I've spoken to since, last Saturday's pay-per-view event with the Adrien Broner and Pacquiao. I was very disappointed in the fight myself. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, man. What'd you? I know you're pretty much a student in the game. What'd you think about this one?
I felt Broner tried to fight too much like Floyd, but he got hit too much. He tried to fight Pacquiao how Floyd fought him. You know what I mean? And to me, he got hit way too much. And I mean, it could be all type of things with Broner. It could be his outside. We could say it could be all type of things, but he didn't throw enough punches, and he got hit too much to try to fight how Floyd fought Pacquiao. And he was just looking for the one punch, like he was gonna knock Pacquiao out with the straight right hand and stuff like that. So but at the end of the day, it's different ways you could look at it. Broner probably felt like at the end of the day it was a win for him coming from where he come from to be making millions of dollars and be in one of the biggest fights in boxing and fighting one of the biggest names as a future Hall of Famer like Pacquiao. He felt like he won, because, I mean, if he wasn't doing this, I mean, we don't know where he'd be headed. So, he felt like he won at the end of the day.
Is it glaring to you or, eyebrow raising for you in these big fights against the elite guys that he's faced? I'm just a little disappointed in the spirit of competition that I'm seeing out of him. Is that something that's jumping out to you?
Yeah, he's not a 147 pounder. You know what I mean? When he made a lot of noises at those lower weight classes, 130 and 135, and I feel like he jumped up. I feel like he moved too fast. Like he believed his own hype to move too fast and jump up too fast. So that's when he fought Maidana at 147. He went from like 135 and jumped right to 147 to fight Maidana. Like so. And I think, still certain fights has broken him. And then he fought like Sean Porter right after. Like, so he fought, he's not a 147 pounder, but the way he let his body go and stuff like that and get that big and make it hard for him to get back down to those lower weight classes because, he got to break his body down to get back down there. So, it could be all type of things, man.
Yeah, I just think, it's a little frustrating for me because just like, I would say maybe a player like an Iverson or something, we love these guys that bring that street edge and the swagger and all, the charisma and the hip hop and all the vibe and all, hip hop culture and everything. But then it's just sad on the backside when like you just said, when these guys don't keep it professional in terms of taking care of your body and being prepared properly.
You got to take care of your body and you got to stay focused and you got to stay disciplined no matter what. You know what I mean? No matter how much money you get and everything, you still got to stay disciplined. You know what I mean? You don't go just doing anything or feel like you own the world. You still got to stay disciplined and grounded and only keep good people around you, not people that just want to be around you for the fame and all that. You know what I mean? Like, he got a bunch of yes men in his corner, you know what I mean? Nobody that's going to really tell him, like, man, that ain't the way to go, So, and it's like now he becoming, he's the type of guy now, he want to put on the show. He'd rather put on the show than taking care of business, you know what I mean? So everybody look forward to him, walking out and doing all this, see what he got on and doing all this. But it's like he's not taking care of business. So that don't mean nothing if you don't take care of business. But when you do that and take care of business, that's what makes you special.
Right. And that's, I get criticized, when I call out these types of things, but I'm just like, how do you overlook that? But so I appreciate you kind of validating, I'm not a guy just sitting here hating on the brother. I'm just like, it's some foundational stuff that you just can't skip over.
Yep.
And
you definitely, you just got to stay grounded, man. You got to keep yourself grounded as possible and, you gotta, just keep good people around you and just stay focused. Don't forget what got you there.
Right. And I always try to keep it, if we gonna keep it funky, the one thing, and I had to tell a lot of coworkers and different people who really don't watch boxing too much, but tune in when they hear Floyd Mayweather, and I got guys that want to root against him, or when the McGregor fight was being put together, I got guys in my office talking about how McGregor had a chance, and I keep telling them, the one thing that you guys don't really know is you see some of the antics and all of that stuff, but y'all don't understand that the man doesn't have many negative or vices that impact his body, and the man is going to show up to be able to go, to be 100 on fight night. That's what separates him from some of these guys.
Exactly, and that's even like, no matter what Floyd is saying, that man worked hard. No matter what, he worked hard. And he putting the work in, all the work that's needed to go in there and get the win. You'll never see Floyd sit up here and be 30, 40 pounds overweight before a fight. So, you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay focused, especially if you want to stay in the game.
You know anything about the Destiny Butler kid that's coming up out of Chicago?
Yeah, I know. I know of him. He used to train at Taylor Park. I trained him a couple times and stuff. Yeah, I know of him.
Okay, I saw he was able to get the win, and I know he's part of. He signed with Adrien Broner's about billion, so yeah, I just see him coming along.
Yeah, he signed with Adrien Broner. I haven't had a chance to really catch him fight. When it. Well, I seen like a video. I did see a video of one of his pro fights, but he's definitely a tough guy. He got the right attitude, and he's definitely a tough guy mentally or whatever. As long as he stay focused, sky's the limit. Do whatever you want to do.
All right, hey man, I'm not gonna hold you up much longer, man. I was just looking at the lineup in Hinckley. I did see that road trip is a little tough for me, but looking at the lineup, man, I'm kind of interested in figuring out how to get there and check that one out in person.
Man, if you come there today, that'd be great, and we just talk in person.
Right. What's your thoughts on being on this lineup? It's a diverse group of fighters. Michaela Mayer's on there. I think this might be a second card in a row with her. When you look at this mix and the depth on the card, man, what's your thoughts on the event, and what do you think people can expect?
Oh man, it's a great event. One thing you can expect is for me to put on the show. I'm gonna put on the show. I'm gonna handle business, and I'm gonna have a one-sided dominant performance. And I'm guaranteed going to go out there and get that win.
Got you. You keeping up with football or not, or you don't have a horse in this race with the Rams and the Patriots?
I don't have a horse in this race, but it's hard for me to. Every time, like I did one time, go against Tom or something like that. He proved me wrong every time, so it's hard to go against Tom in the pack.
Any thoughts on what you saw out of the Chicago Bears?
Oh man, actually, they was doing pretty good. Just one little mistake, like a bad kicker or whatever, messed it up for us or whatever. But they definitely. I give them their props. They did good, and they even got more players in the Pro Bowl than really anybody. So they had a great year. They had a great season.
Okay. Last question, man. Basketball wise, I know the Bulls aren't doing too good. I know you mentioned liking Golden State Warriors. I know Boogie Cousins just got back to the team. Can they be stopped?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty tough, especially with all this time that LeBron is missing, and then all this extra work that James Harden has to do, and then with Russell Westbrook not really having a great shooting year. I just don't know how teams with those types of flaws get it done against that bunch.
Right. Yeah. I don't think so, man. I think Golden State got a few more championships to get in now.
Got it. Hey, man, I appreciate your time. Again, thanks for answering the text, man. I really wanted to get on and, include you on the program, man, and get the word out there on the fight. I think that's going to be a phenomenal night. I really like what Top Rank is doing, and I just like, if you are successful here, man, I mean, just what's your outlook on the rest of the year? I'm seeing the Mr. ESPN tag that you promoting. So can you give us a tease of anything that's in the works?
Yeah, after I get this win, I know this year whenever Top Rank can do it, I want that WBC World Title. So I want Nordine out of body. That's what I want while that tournament going on.
That was a question I had scratched away, but I did see that's the only title that's in play. And like you said, that tournament hit a little hiccup. There was some concern about the whether it was going to continue or not because of the backing and all of it. But it looks like it will continue. And like you said, that Ubali is the guy that you should be targeting. So, hey, you got it all covered, man. Just do your thing on February the 15th. And, good luck out there.
Most definitely, man. Thank you, brother, for your time, and thank you for the interview again, bro.
All right, take care, man.